Welcome back, everybody, to Strongman Personal Finance's favorite weekend event, doing a live stream with my best investing buddies. I have Jay Nagy, the paper boy, our hero. He runs a YouTube channel. Please subscribe to his. And we have a young Canadian man, Investing Sucks. You can also subscribe to his channel. These guys actually give good investing advice, unlike the clowns that I have on the thumbnail of this video. And we're going to talk about each one of them, ladies and gentlemen. So be prepared for some copious amounts of hate and maybe a little bit of love at the end of it, okay? Anyway, welcome, guys.
So I'm just going to start it with this. Regale me with your tale of dealing with Jeremy's representative, dude.
Oh, okay. So on this thumbnail, ladies and gentlemen, of this video you just clicked on, there's a person named Jeremy Lefebvre or whatever, Lefebvre.
I call him Lefebvre.
Or Lefraud. But he runs a YouTube channel called Financial Education. And he actually offers a private investment service where you can pay a massive amount of money and you get to be told how to buy like 5 stocks. So I actually called the representative, one of Jeremy's representatives. I was like, hey, man, what's up? I played really dumb. And he kind of like took me through their process. And then he said, okay, here's the prices. And the prices for Jeremy's course, where they basically give you a chat room and they don't even tell you what stocks to buy. They just kind of like coach you. It ranges from like $5,000 up front all the way to $20,000 just to get access and be able to call some people every once in a while. So it's a complete fraud.
Well, dude, it's like this. It's like I need a stock market coach. September of last year. Should I buy Bank of America? I think it's depressed in price. Like, no, that's an excellent buy. You should do it. Oh, here's $20,000 that I could have put in Bank of America.
I mean, if somebody wants to pay me $20,000 to tell them to put money in VT, I'll do it. You know,
yeah.
Why not?
Hey, Jay Nagy, here's $20,000. What should I do? VT, total stock market. Get yourself a little international exposure. If you don't have VT, get yourself some specialized index funds like the Vanguard Healthcare and a REIT. Get yourself a mid cap. There you go. You got like 5 things that you got to keep track of.
Wait.
Slam that in. Make sure that VNQ is down in your tax advantage portfolio. Send me $20,000.
Yeah, is it $20,000 like a year, or is it just like an upfront fee that you pay for access?
It's an upfront fee. So like the more you pay, basically the more access time you get and the more coaching calls you get. So if you pay $5,000, you might only get like 6 months and you don't get coaching call. But if you pay 20, you get like, 3 years of access to the Discord. And
okay.
You can actually talk to Jeremy himself. He'll look at your portfolio. I wonder what he would say about my portfolio.
Right? He'd be like, well, it's fine, dude, if you want average returns. And then you're like, well, the average investor gets a return of 2.5% or 2.6%. Right? Because your instincts suck and you get emotional. Everybody does it. I just did a video I'm going to put up tonight about this guy who teaches at Columbia. He said in there, he's like, the average person, he's like, should have their money in low-cost index funds, and you shouldn't buy stocks unless you're a specialist. And he gave the example of a dentist. And he said a dentist will have specialized knowledge that he could use to buy a company in his area of expertise, and you should do that. But the rest of his money should be in low-cost index funds. And then after that, I went to the example everybody uses with Tesla. You can hate on me all you want if you're a person at home, but I'm right about the self-driving car. And I know I'm right because I listened to lectures with artificial intelligence professors saying you're not going to have self-driving taxis in 4 years.
But it's Elon Musk, bro. Come on.
Yeah, and there's just an article out that said Elon Musk has to get honest with the public about the self-driving car and its ability. All of these articles are out there, and it only takes you 5 minutes of basic research. And then your video, like you said, was not a car company, but 86% of its revenue comes from cars.
It's a car company.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously a car company. But I think what a lot of people see with them is into the future, like a lot of their revenue comes from their technology, right? Like whether that's technology within the cars, which apparently would carve out like a new market share for them because, you know, if young people reach a certain age where they can buy cars, they may gravitate towards Teslas because they've grown up with technology and they want to buy Teslas. But the problem I see with all these like Tesla projections of them going to like 5 trillion market cap is basically they assume that every car that they can produce, they're going to sell within the year, right? Which is, it's pretty unlikely. I mean, like you can only be so optimistic about how big one company's market share can be within a given time.
I mean, the assumption is just insane. And on top of that, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I think the greatest growth in the future for car sales is going to come from emerging markets. I mean, that makes sense. So China, India,
Africa.
Africa. Like Tesla is not going to have a strong foothold in any one of those continents, any one of those places. So I don't know how they could possibly get a $6 trillion market cap, which, by the way, that would be like, what is it, almost 3 times as large as like Amazon or Apple. It's just pure insanity what these people are saying.
But yeah, would that be like a third of the GDP of America or something?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, it'd be like a little bit under. I think our GDP is 24 trillion.
Yeah, we're the biggest economy in the world, and Tesla's going to be worth basically a third or a fourth of our GDP.
Well, the thing is, if you pay attention, this has all happened before. All you need to do is look at the bicycle stock bubble of the late 1800s in England, or look at the tech bubble of now. And it's like, I go back and look throughout the 20th century at the number of automakers that there were. There's like 80 or something like that. And how many are around today? 10. Well, I joke about it. Tesla's special needs Cybertruck in the sexy Ford Lightning, and now they're introducing a sexy Ford Bronco. Good luck.
That article, I was like, Tesla is going to be so screwed.
Good luck. And it's cheaper. Like, I got cash to burn. I just won the lottery, and I'm looking at the Cybertruck, and I'm like, this looks like a DeLorean fucked a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm going to go with the sexy Ford Bronco electric vehicle. Sorry.
If no argument convinces you, ladies and gentlemen, and I may be wrong, but I believe Tesla's market cap is bigger than Walmart and Alibaba combined. Now, you tell me, is Tesla producing so much cash that it's literally the equivalent of freaking Walmart and Alibaba combined? Of course not. It's freaking ridiculous. And you have these idiots, like we'll get to stock Mo, but he's like, I think Tesla stock's going to be $950, $900 in the next year. That would put them at like an $800 billion market cap.
Well, let me ask you a question. Isn't it larger than Berkshire Hathaway right now?
Probably. Berkshire Hathaway.
What would you rather have? I don't know the exact numbers, but they did it on Everything Money. And Berkshire's revenue is ridiculous.
Well, their profit margin is ridiculous too. That's what you really have to worry about.
So, what would you, if I had to look at you right now and you had the money to spend, and I said you can only buy 1 and 2 stocks, you can buy Berkshire Hathaway or you can buy Tesla. If you told me that you would rather buy Tesla, I would have you committed to an insane asylum, and I would have to have you have a person that invests your money for you. Like, I'd be like, you're no longer allowed to invest.
I'm actually on Robinhood right now. I'm literally YOLOing all my money into Tesla. And there's nothing you can do about it, Jay.
You need to be committed to an insane asylum right next to the Joker.
All right. Yeah. So we're talking about Tesla, ladies and gentlemen. And one of the biggest proponents is the guy we were just talking about, Jeremy Lefebvre. So if you pay for his stock course, you can get such great insights, such as investing in a massively overvalued company like Tesla Myesla. So if you take anything from this, ladies and gentlemen, don't listen to the morons hyping stuff on the internet, especially Jeremy.
I do have to be intellectually honest. It's been a while since I've listened to any of it, because half the time I vomit in my mouth when I'm listening to him. But I got to swallow it. But I think he's been saying he's long Tesla, but Tesla is overvalued right now. So I want to be intellectually honest. I have heard him say that. And to be perfectly honest with you, if he didn't charge $20,000 to people, I wouldn't even pick on him. But it's just that. It's just that.
I mean, like, even if he charged like 2,000, like to me, what he's doing is he's hyper concentrating people in between the 5 to 12 stocks, which is not nearly enough. And then he just has these radical predictions of where these stocks are going to go. So I just don't like his investment style, period.
Well, it's like I've softened on whatever those people that worked for the government, Our Rich Journey, because they do tell people index funds. And I'm like, they're like, they sell courses. But I mean, this was $9. This was $9 on Amazon.
Yeah, I bought that book when I was like, I think I was 15 years old.
Yeah,
I read that book.
I mean, you got this book.
Oh, whose book is that, Jay?
Christopher Bell's. The one I'm gonna read next. I mean, all of the books I spent less than $40 on, and you could have gone to the library. But I mean, if you're a fan of a YouTuber and you see a course and it's $120 and it causes you to just throw your money in low cost index funds, good on them. I'm glad. I guess I don't have a problem with that. Or
I actually have my plan is I want to make my own course one day. And I'm going to charge $10 for the course. Like I want to undercut all of these scam YouTubers.
Dude, that's what Dude, let's work on it together because I have the exact same idea. I was like, I threw out an arbitrary number of like $5.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to do work, I want to make a little bit of money, but I want to undercut everybody and be like, oh, yeah, $10 and I'll teach you like, and not just about stonks, insurance, cash management, everything.
But yeah, it would be one thing if I thought it would be one thing if it was $20,000 and, you got a phone call from Warren Buffett, and he personally looked over your portfolio and he was like, that's dog shit, sell it. That's good. Okay, you got your money and most of your money in index funds. It's what I like to see. Because that's what Warren Buffett said. He said the average person should just buy the S&P 500.
I actually disagree with him on that, but I would trust Warren Buffett over
Jeremy. Yeah, I mean, you have a reasonable disagreement where you go, well, I disagree with you on the S&P 500. And he's like, well, what do you think? Buy VT. It's the whole world. He'd probably go, yeah, that's smart.
Yeah. So, Chris, what's your rationale for going with the whole world rather than just the S&P? Is it just for more diversification, or is it kind of like you just think U.S. stocks are perhaps in a bubble and it's better to have more exposure?
Yeah, it's better to be exposed to the entire world because, I mean, America's not growing super fast. I mean, we have great companies, but at the end of the day, our GDP is only growing like 2 or maybe 3% per year. And then on top of that, there's cycles. Sometimes international will outperform the United States over several years. And then sometimes the U.S. will crush it. But people have like recency bias where they see the U.S. dominate for the last 10 years. And they're like, oh, U.S. is going to keep going up forever. Where in my opinion, I'd rather be exposed to everything. And if I'm wrong, great, I still have U.S. stocks. But if I'm right, well, emerging markets may take off, international may take off. So you don't have to worry about timing the market. You just own everything and you grow with the entire world.
Yeah. Is it a lot more like low cap stocks though, compared to like the S&P, or are they all like fairly large?
It's basically VT is still tilted heavily large cap. So when you look at VT, you're going to see all the American stocks in the top 10. You're going to see Alibaba, basically any large companies. That's what happens with index funds is they're always tilted towards large caps. So that's why I kind of have like a small cap play as well in my Roth IRA, just so I'm not highly concentrated in large caps. But yeah, generally it's going to skew still to large companies. Yeah. So if you want to diversify, you can do that.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see how if you look at like ETFs that generally have like smaller cap companies and you look at their historical returns, they're usually like very slightly higher, like not always, but very slightly, because I guess that's kind of the risk reward trade-off. But even if you look at it for like 10 years, 20-year time horizon, it's like S&P 500 index averages 7-8%, right? And then these smaller caps are like 9-10% sometimes.
Yeah, that's why I'm huge on getting. You don't have to have a huge part of your portfolio, but like I have 15% of my Roth in basically 25% in smaller companies, REITs and small cap value. And then in my thrift savings plan, I have like 25% in small companies because they do very well. It's just recently large caps have done better. So people are like, oh, they're going to keep doing better forever, which is not necessarily true.
If you go back and you look at from 2000 till now, you'll see that mid caps, small caps, and REITs outperformed large caps, which is why I read an article which convinced me to do this. But this article said that mid caps, surprisingly enough, actually outperformed small caps. So I just went with mid caps in my Vanguard portfolio. But in my TSP, I have 75% in the small and mid cap. The reason I'm doing that is to balance it out. It's going to drop down, but because most of my money was in the S&P 500. And then I just said, wait, I already own the total stock market. Why am I doing this?
Yeah, I mean, if you have the total stock market, you basically have the S&P 500 with a little bit of small caps. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, that's like it's all like stocks though, right? It's not REITs in there. Like REITs would be a separate fund.
No,
right?
there's REITs in the total stock market. They're just basically the justification is when you have REITs as like a portfolio tilt, they're not well represented as a percentage of the total stock market. But REITs are or not REITs, but like real estate in general in the U.S. economy is huge. So if you want more exposure to a big part of the U.S. economy that's not really well represented in the stock market, you'd have a little bit of money in real estate investment trusts. I mean, I have 10% of my Roth, so it's not like a massive position, but I keep 10% in REITs.
Yeah, I really like REITs, especially the the monthly income. I think it's definitely a good idea, especially like when you're starting out. And yeah, I mean, I was surprised to find out that like REITs actually outperform equities since it was like the year 2000 or something.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean it's going to happen forever, but I mean, I thought they were attractive now. I was like, wow, they got crushed during Corona, the virus.
Yeah, especially retail REITs. Like I remember, I think it was back in like April, I invested quite a lot of like the money I had back then in a retail REIT because I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, well, this retail REIT, it has a lot of, because they have like the, forget what the word is, but it's like the weighted, like you have like a company like Walmart, for example, and then there's like a shopping center around it and they call it like a Walmart weighted or something like that. I can't remember.
Super center.
Yeah. So I was looking at that. And then of course, like retail REITs were just like, the yields on them were pretty high. It was like 9-10%, which if you can buy into those with a 9-10% yield, assuming like their income doesn't, get crushed in the future, and you just hold that long term, if you can lock in like a 9-10% yield when they get crushed like that, then over the long term, that's a really good buy.
Yeah, that's truly buying the dip. Unlike these crypto idiots that are like, oh, buy the crypto dip. When you buy a stock dip, you're buying a company that's on sale, but it's still generating something real. Whereas these clowns on YouTube, they tell you to buy the crypto dip, even though crypto doesn't produce anything. So it's not the equivalent. But like what he was saying is absolutely correct. I mean, you're locking in such a low yield. And I don't think real estate's going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Call me crazy, but I think it's going to be around. So if you want to put a little bit in real estate, not a problem.
A lot of the YouTubers struggle with this simple fact. What are you buying when you buying a company? You're buying a share of its profit. $1 is $1, whether it comes from tech or a bank. And I want to get $1. I want to pay as little for $1 as I possibly can. You can pay your premium. Well, I'm going to pay 99 cents for it. Cool. I'm going to pay 30 cents for it with this bank or whatever. And so that's like with your REIT purchase there, you got 30 cents on the dollar and you've locked that in forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, REITs aren't a bad play. As long as just make sure if you're watching this, make sure you buy it in a tax advantage account and you reinvest the dividends, because if you don't reinvest the dividends, I mean, you're not going to get much appreciation. And then on top of that, if it's not in a tax advantage account, you're gonna be paying massive taxes on it.
Also, there is one index fund I recommend. Put it in a small allocation in your portfolio, and that's at Vanguard Healthcare, because that's returned 15 or 16% since 1984.
Look, Bernie Sanders is going to nationalize healthcare, Jay, and that's going to go to zero.
Yeah, dude, Bernie Sanders, the same guy wants to take everybody's money who sleeps in 5-star hotels on the taxpayer dime.
What is that about?
Bernie Sanders is so lazy he got kicked out of a communist compound. Do you understand how incredibly lazy you have to be, where a bunch of communists who don't want to do anything are like, dude, you got to go, man. You're just a drag on the system.
Yeah, I don't think Bernie Sanders is ever going to take over the healthcare system, ladies and gentlemen. So, I mean, yeah, if you want to play around with your portfolio, that's fine. Just have the bulk of it in either S&P if you love the S&P or VT. And then you can have 10% here, 10% there, whatever you want to do.
I told you I was going to do it. I haven't done it yet, but I have to go into my IRA. I got to call Vanguard and tell them to put me into the Total World Index Fund.
VT Wax, ladies and gentlemen. And we have some comments, but I'm going to put this up real quick.
Yeah.
If you want to have a mutual fund, because I always talk about VT, it's an ETF. It's the total world. You own every company in the world. But if you want a mutual fund that owns every company in the world, it's VT Wax. And I highly recommend that one. Everybody take notes, screenshot it. YOLO all your money into it. You'll be okay.
Your logic on that convinced me, because I was like, why am I buying outside of my total stock market? Because I'm way too exposed to the U.S. market, when I can just do this and throw it on autopilot. And then that frees me up to actually look for good deals on stocks with my 5 to 10% of my portfolio that's in stocks.
Yeah, investing is so easy. You just have to have the discipline to not try to time the market. That's the hardest part. It's not picking the investment. It's sticking to your plan and making sure that you're contributing money constantly. That's how you build real wealth. Well,
dude, you hit the nail on the head when you said that. Investing is easy. It sucks. And it's just like watching paint dry. But the most important thing is you just have a strategy. If somebody looks at me and they're like, well, I like buying dividend stocks, so I just hunt for dividend stocks, and I have like 50. It's something I enjoy doing, and I have a well-diversified portfolio. Okay. Nothing wrong with that, man. I mean, that's the story of the frugal janitor who owned 95 different individual stocks. He had $8 million. The guy never made a lot of money. He just put his money into.
I thought he did GME options.
Yeah, the frugal janitor made all his money from GME options, AMC options, and crypto.
All right. Hey, if you guys just checked in, ladies and gentlemen, there's some ladies in here, subscribe to these two gentlemen, okay? Because one day we're going to be the 3 biggest YouTubers, and we're going to just dump on everybody else. But all right, we got some comments. Let's go through the comments, and then we talked about what's his name, Jeremy. We can go on to the next person once we're done here. Meet Kevin.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Would you vote for me?
Me?
Yeah. Would you?
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for this dude. I'm going to vote for you to be governor of California when you can't even somehow write like an accurate projection of Tesla stock into the future.
The one thing I really like
running my economy.
He is a Republican. I mean, at least he seems to lean that way. So if I had to choose between him and Gavin Newsom, I would throw a nuke into California and vote for me, Kevin.
Well, I announce this occasionally on podcasts. I'm running for office for wherever you want to vote me in. I'm not going to do any campaigning, and I'm not even going to attempt to do any debates or anything like that. But if you want to vote for me for governor of California, I'll fix your homeless problem overnight.
What would you do?
Just
Lock them in a
call
prison?
the cops in, take everybody's tents down. No, you don't have the right to shit on the beach. Sorry. You also don't have the right to steal stuff either from stores because you're actually stealing from me. Yeah, I own CVS and Walgreens. You don't have the right to go in there and just take stuff out of there.
Do you really want to run for politics? You know, I'm actually a politician. You know, I'm the president of my HOA. Did I tell you guys that? But that's my highest aspiration. I don't want to go above that.
Wait, what's that?
Well, what is it?
What's HOA?
Oh, homeowners association. It's like, you know, when you live in a community, you have a HOA and they gotta cut your grass and stuff like that. Nobody wanted to do it. And they were like, oh, we need to hire a property management company. Like, I'm not paying somebody, like, I'm not doubling my dues to pay for this crap. So I was like, yeah, I'll be the president, whatever. But that's the only reason I did it.
Dude, I don't want to be involved in politics, but I just think it's funny. It would be extremely funny if, like, people were looking around and they're like, the new governor of California, Jason Nagel. And they're like, who is this guy? Did he even campaign? And then I'm just up there on TV, like telling people about my plans. Like, how do you plan on handling the homeless problem? Well, I'm going to kick all their asses out of here. Sorry.
Jay, I'm sure you have a good shot of winning the governorship. I believe in you. I'll vote for you, okay?
Dude, I want to be up there with Dan Crenshaw. Like, Dan's like, did you even like campaign for office? Like, nah, I just started a YouTube channel and told people I was running for stuff.
You should hire me, like a financial educator. Like, you can give me a massive contract for the state. Like, I'll go into schools and teach kids about personal finance.
Yeah. Dude, well, people make fun of Florida for being uneducated, but they're introducing personal finance into the curriculum down here.
That's pretty good. The only thing you got to be careful of is hopefully you don't have like financial advisors coming in like, hey, you need to have a financial advisor, because that would kind of set a bad long-term example.
Dude, my mom has a money guy, and she's always telling me like this or that, and I'm like,
the hottest stocks.
This guy is fucking taking my mom's money, and there's nothing I can do about it. She won't listen to me. Where I'm like, you do not need his advice, Mom.
VT, just tell her VT. It's all you got to do. All right, we got more comments here. Nerdy Ferny, one of our favorite fans, he said he'd buy my course. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make a course for $10. I'm going to give you everything you need to know. And I'm going to undercut all these frauds on YouTube.
I'm going to make one. I'm going to make one too, and it's how to get you living the hobo lifestyle, riding the rails, because your finances are secure.
Yeah, I pay big money for that, Jay.
Yeah, this is kind of what we talk about a lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys, like I never show my portfolio because I'm not gonna say, oh, look how smart I am. Look how much of a genius I am. Because a lot of these guys show their portfolios, and the only reason they have a lot of money is because they freaking have YouTube money. That's it, and they throw it into their investments. Wow.
Hold on, though. Most of them don't really show you their portfolio. They tell you that they have these in their portfolio, but they don't actually show you.
A lot of them do. Maybe not me, Kevin, but like there's a ton, like Chris Sane. I don't know if you've heard of him. He has this Robinhood account. He's just like, and it goes up and up and up, and that's because he's just contributing more money.
Well, so the guy makes them hard. No, I mean, look, a guy like Andre Geek, he's like an extremely likable guy, and he makes like cool videos, right? But at least he says, I'm going to put my money in the total stock market. So, I mean, if you like somebody's videos and you like their personality, why not watch them? But take it with a grain of salt.
It's entertainment at the end of the day, right? Like that, whether we were talking about like finance and you're trying to put an educational spin on it, like when people go onto YouTube, most of the time they're going on there to be entertained, right? Like some people are going on there for proper education, but the reason why you have like the YouTube algorithm that's pumping all these, like the videos we see nonstop, like the crypto influencers and the stonks, is because that's what people watch. And that's how the YouTube algorithm is programmed to get people to stay on YouTube for as long as they can. So if that's what people are watching, that's what it's going to force onto people, which, you know, the morality of that is you can question it if you want, and like whether or not it's good for people. But this is what happens when you have such like a prominent influence in the media sphere, like YouTube, right?
Yeah, that's why I've shifted a lot of my videos. Like, you know, if I make a video about index funds, nobody watches it. But if I make a video about, you know, some of these stupid stonks, oh, people will watch it and they'll dump on it. But that's how you get the views. And then once you grow big enough, then you can like circle back. You know, you can like lessons while you're going through the stocks, but you can, once you get big enough, you can circle back and be like, hey, maybe you should put your money in VT or something like that, you know?
I'll tell you, my channel tells you everything you need to know about YouTube. If you go and you look at the number of views that the 1994 Peter Lynch hour lecture got versus the Dogecoin Millionaire, that tells you everything that you need to know. I'm like, really? You're watching some idiot make fun of another idiot when you could be watching Peter Lynch drop knowledge on you? Like, what is wrong with you?
Look, it's a new generation, okay? The Dogecoin Millionaire, he's the hero. Well, actually, we'll talk about him next, but he's the hero of the new generation. He's going to change the world. Here, let's get through the comments, and then we'll go to the next. We're getting a lot of... Holy crap, we're getting a lot of comments. All right, all YouTubers who promote crypto.
Yup, dude, right?
It's a scam. Every time I make a video about Bitcoin, I think... Eric mentioned this too, but like if you put Bitcoin in your title, you get like massive comments like immediately from all these like spam bots that are pumping cryptocurrency.
I wonder if that's going to happen. I did with my, I haven't checked it, but my Shiba Inu one where I just went through and I talked about how this is the premium baseball card market or Beanie Babies of the late 90s.
Except it's worse. At least with a Beanie Baby, you can like burn it to make heat or something.
At least you have a physical item, right?
You can cuddle with it, you know?
Yeah.
These guys, they're very dangerous. Yeah, they're very dangerous. I totally agree. Scumbags. Besides V&Q, what other REITs do you like? I mean, I haven't looked at a lot of REITs. I don't know, you guys can chip in, but I haven't looked at a lot of REITs. Basically, as long as it's a low-cost index fund and it covers a very diversified segment of the U.S. or international market, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. I really like kind of the retail REITs, but not really like the shopping mall ones. Kind of the ones that are like, you know, they have a Walmart around them, or you know, a company that you can actually trust. Because the retail REITs generally have a higher yield. Like what I've noticed recently is a lot of the yields have like gone down on all these REITs because I think after the whole like speculative mania that happened in late 2020, people shifted into value, and there was pretty good value in REITs. Like you could still get 6-7% yields. But now the prices have gone up and it's only like 4 or 5% if you're looking at like a healthcare REIT or an apartment REIT. Like the mortgage REITs are pretty low yields now. I'm speaking from like Canadian perspective. I don't really look at American REITs, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with America, like V&Q it's a REIT index fund almost because I think it has like 140 different REITs and it's got like healthcare, telecommunications. It's like super diversified, so it's not one or two companies, which is why I like it. But I mean, there are good REITs out there. I mean, people pump up O all the time. I don't know much about it, but
it's solid, but it's just expensive right now.
Yeah, and it's one REIT. So
everybody's buying. This is the thing is like no matter which market you're in, you want to go and look at what the YouTubers are pumping and then go elsewhere. Because that's the one that's commonly everybody's talking about. So you know that that's expensive. It's the one guy over here that's nobody's seen yet. That's the one you want.
You know what I bite myself for not buying is Ford. Because, like, I remember, like, the last recession, some guy was talking, oh, Ford went down, but it survived. And I was looking, and everybody's pumping Tesla. And I was like, there's no way Ford's going to die. I mean, I believe in Ford. And I was like, man, I should have scooped that up because now Ford is doing pretty freaking well.
On the hype from the electric Bronco. Dude, Broncos, like, the new Broncos are just sexy vehicles, man. And then
they should rename them Strongman.
Huh?
They should rename them Strongmans.
Maybe. Or they should give me a
sorry, they're trying to make a joke.
or they should give me a free Bronco for my massive hatred of the Tesla Cybertruck.
Yeah, imagine if we were able to influence the price of Ford one day because we just dumped on Tesla so much and we got so big on YouTube that they actually gifted us with a free electric.
I would be so happy, even though I think cars are stupid. I'd be like, I'm gonna make sure this truck doesn't sit in the sun. I'm gonna wash it all the time.
I would sell it immediately and buy more VT. But don't tell me. All right, so we're about foreign dividend taxes. Well, you get like a foreign tax credit, so yeah, it's not a bad deal for international dividends. But if you haven't maxed your tax advantage accounts, I would do that first before you even worry about non-tax or taxable accounts. But yeah, you do get a tax credit for foreign dividends, so that definitely helps your returns.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, bro?
Smart move.
Hey, so no joke, my friend, I have a friend, he made 40 grand off of AMC calls in like a day. 40 grand.
But didn't he gamble with like 7 grand?
Yeah, I mean he did.
That just makes my skin crawl. If he did it on $100, I'd be like, sweet. But like if I was just sitting there with 7 grand, I'd be like, there's no way. That's just way too much money to me.
Yeah, I mean it was a gamble, but it paid off. Like 40 grand. I was like, dude, sell that and put it in VT. But I don't know what he's gonna do. But good for him. He worked out.
to me, that's like he walked up to a roulette table in Vegas and just YOLO'd 7 grand on it.
Yeah, it's super risky. So when you see a return like that, that means you took a massive risk. If you quintuple your money in a day or two, you're taking massive risk. But sometimes it does work. But the thing is, you just have to keep in mind that you could also lose everything. So if you want to gamble, that's why we always say 5%, whatever. Everything else, index funds.
Yeah, for me, it's you can maybe get this 20, 30, 100%, or we'll guarantee you 7% return on your money. I'll take that 7% all day.
Yeah, and one mistake and you lose it all. So that's the big thing. Yeah. And if you get a big lucky win, sell out of it, put it in VT, and then if you want to gamble, take a couple hundred out of that and do it again. But never put all your money into stuff like that.
Well, it's when Meet Kevin responded to you, if he had been taking his profits on Tesla, keeping it at some certain percentage weight in his portfolio, I wouldn't have said he's an idiot.
I would have sold it all of it. I mean, he would have made massive money. And if he had rotated that money into something else,
he could have still kept his YouTube channel in play where he said, yeah, I sold it to keep it at 5%. I lost some of the maximum money, but I have this all back in low cost index funds. I'd be like, dude's a genius, but he didn't.
Yeah. I wish I could have a return like that, but I actually did make a small investment into a mystery company I won't tell you about yet, but we'll see what happens.
Yay! One thing I will say is, going into the future, I want to make more like finance parody videos, kind of just like the short clips, because they're a lot of fun to make. Like just kind of whatever the trend is, just kind of.
Have you thought about TikTok too?
I was thinking of putting them on TikTok, but I don't know. I might do it. I might get one of my friends to do it because I've never used TikTok. Like I've never even seen what it looks like. But it's kind of weird. There's a lot of young kids that, have insane followings on TikTok. Like my brother is 18, I think. Yeah, he's 18 now. And like some of his like people he knows from his high school have like hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok. I'm like, man, like what the hell is going on in that place?
Yeah, it's actually easier to get seen on TikTok. Like I tried,
Yeah.
I need to go back and start doing it, but I tried it and it was just so stupid. But if you really want to get exposure, that's a good place to go. I might actually start going back and, doing skits. But yeah, I mean, if you focus on like the newest meme crap, that's how you get all the views. I mean, look at my channel. Like I did a bunch of boring stuff. Nobody freaking watched it. And then as soon as I started talking about the Dogecoin idiot era, 7,000 views. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I do have to say, for me, it is interesting to watch you go through the balance sheets and the income statement. But that's a guy who's interested in it anyway. So, I mean, I get it. That's like why your page, Investing Sucks, is labeled perfectly, because investing does suck. It's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, I'm an accountant. I like looking at that stuff. That's why I'm so anti gambling, because I that's just my nature. Like, I want to look at the fundamentals. So
Yeah,
that's why
exactly.
I actually like looking at financial statements.
Yeah, it teaches, like, that's what accounting definitely did for me. Like, as I learned it, I found myself becoming more and more conservative when it comes to investing. Because, like, when you're an accountant, especially if you're in like audit or assurance, what you're looking at is like every reason to hate a company, right? Like every risk that the company faces. So when you're like, if you're analyzing individual companies, that's what you're looking at. Like you're basically looking for every reason possible not to invest in a company, which is a pretty good approach to take, but it does make you a lot more conservative.
Yeah,
Well,
I think accountants are better investors in the long for the long term. I mean, if you're a gambler finance guy, yeah, you might get lucky, but I think if you want to really learn fundamentals and win in the long run, you definitely want a background in accounting.
Yeah.
Well, one of the biggest things for me was one of my finance professors. She's from China, and she would call the entire class a bunch of idiots and make fun of them for making a portfolio filled with Tesla and stuff. And she goes, "Not one of you has an S&P 500 index fund in your portfolios." And that's what really made me think. I was like, and my money was all, my actual money was all in index funds. And that basically told me everything I needed to know. This woman has a PhD. Well, how do you think she'd do in a conversation with Jeremy? I think she would intellectually dismiss him in like 3 seconds.
I would love to have him on my channel. Like, if I ever get big, I'm going to keep pressuring him and bothering him until he actually comes on. I want to debate him. I want to debate me, Kevin. The Dogecoin Millionaire, I emailed him. No response. I want him to come on. I want to crush all these people. But, they won't do that. Dave Ramsey for president. Yeah, Dave's fine except for his crappy investment advice.
Yeah, well, I look at it like this, though, too, with Dave Ramsey. If you're just a guy watching Dave Ramsey and you take the core of his advice, low-cost index funds, he gives excellent advice. It's just him pushing his financial advisors on you. That's stupid. But he is right when he says, I've probably created more millionaires than anybody else.
Yeah, if you're going to listen to anybody, I mean, of course, listen to us, ladies and gentlemen. But if you don't want to listen to us because we're like young and we're just too attractive for you and you can't stand looking at us, then go look at Dave Ramsey, okay? I mean, I know his investing is kind of ridiculous, but you will be much better off listening to him than these clowns on YouTube.
Dude, I love this comment.
Put all your money in Dogecoin, sell your dog. sell your kids, sell your wife, whatever it takes. Dogecoin millionaires fooked.
Yep.
I just checked Doge, actually. It's down to 29 cents, but buy the dip. It'll go back up.
Dude, I made $40 on Doge. I'm retiring.
Yeah, you can generate, if you divide that by 300, that's how much yearly income you could, or monthly income you could generate from your $40. Why try and bait viewers to buy when you know it's dropping like it's
They have to. It's dependent on new people coming in. It's called the greater fool theory. That there's there's going to be somebody I can sell this worthless product to in the future, somebody dumber than me. That's why they're trying to bait you. I keep getting called an idiot because I keep crapping on Cathie Woods, but I figured out her game. Her funds, the ARK funds, all rely on the greater fool theory. It's all dependent on cash inflows. And when there is a massive recession, which is going to happen, I don't know when, I think ARK is going to implode. Or if Tesla crashes, ARK is going to implode.
Yeah, all it takes is Tesla, man. I mean, Tesla's like 10% of that portfolio. Hold on.
Eric, anything to add?
God, we have so many comments.
Kind of the ARK funds are really just marketing, right? Because that's what I kind of noticed when she goes and talks. She's saying, you're investing in innovation, right? You're being a part of the future, and what you're doing is more important than just trying to earn a financial return. You're changing the world. And then, of course, that gets people really excited and all starry-eyed, so then they throw money at it, and then she charges stupid high ETF fees, right? Because if she was an investor, she could just run a hedge fund, right? And then she could charge 2% of net assets, 20% of profits, and make a ton more money if she was actually good at stock picking. But no sophisticated investor who invests with a hedge fund would trust her with her money because she's just throwing it in meme stocks.
It's easy to I could run my own Cathie Woods fund. You literally find like stocks that are new and exciting and that are small caps, and you just buy a bunch of them, and then you just hype it up. That's literally all you do. So like anything like genomics, futuristic technology, whatever it takes, just buy a bunch of those stocks and then just claim you're an investing genius. And one or two might go up, and then you can brag about it.
Well, dude, here's the truth. I'm going to say something controversial. I bet you if Cathie Woods and I started talking about genomics and the future of that, I bet you she couldn't out debate me. When I would be like, where are you getting your information from? When she looked at me and said that, I'd be like, Aubrey de Grey, Dr. Dudna, the person who invented CRISPR. I've listened to all them speak. And again, I don't think Cathie Woods understands the arc of technology. I don't think she understands the infinite, the parabolic curve. So we're not, if it's here, we're not here. We're like way over here in the genomic revolution. And you're really not going to see it till 2030s or 2040s.
It's a long-term investment, bro. And the whole time you can pay 0.75% on your assets.
I'm good. I like the 0.08%.
All right, let's blast through these comments, and then we can.
Yeah.
All right. So at the end of the day, everybody's, except for me, I'm a hero, and I want to save you guys. Oh, and buy my book, Stop Being a Broke Loser. It's
yeah. Crypto it's a Ponzi scheme. Yeah.
It is. It doesn't produce any cash flows. It's garbage, trash. You're going to go bankrupt. Don't play with it. If I was a newbie investor, I would have fell. Yeah, most people have no clue how investing works. I mean, I didn't. I had to actually read a lot of books and learn about why am I buying a company? Why do I buy an asset? How do you value an asset? But if you don't know that, if you just see massive gains, yeah, Dogecoin, bro. They won't after they buy Dogecoin.
Yeah.
The new Ford.
Oh yeah, dude! And check out the Bronco. We were talking about that earlier. They're coming out with an electric Bronco.
So hot. You got to know them when to fold them. Is that like a rap lyric or something?
No, dude, that's fucking Kenny Rogers, man, the gambler.
Oh, sorry. You need balls. If you need to see a good opening, you have a lump of cash.
I agree.
I didn't have enough to buy Ford though. I regret that. Some great AMC. I don't like AMC. I did a review of their financials.
I mean, if you were, balls, look, Wall Street Bets isn't the worst place to hang out in because you're getting an idea of where the retards and apes are putting their money. My buddy, Nate, he's making a grip off of just playing these fools. with a little bit of money. He'll take like $500, double or triple it because he's paying attention to Wall Street bets. Then he takes that money and he puts it into low-cost index funds.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for like speculation, but some of those guys, you don't want to model yourself after those morons where they YOLO all their money.
No, absolutely not. But
the Avengers of investing.
That's what we should rename these like live stream sessions, you know? We got to give it some like really catchy title. Or I was thinking like Red Pill Investing. Something like that.
Investing.
I like it, dude. Red Pill Investing.
Dude, bro.
You need to make a course, $5 to $10. Red Pill Investing.
Yeah.
Well, that's I did a video on the hard truths of investing where I said you guys aren't going to outperform the market. There's entire disciplines of investing devoted to outperforming the market, and even they struggle to just outperform the market.
Yeah, that's the red pill.
Huh?
What's that?
That's the red pill mentality, is when you tell people you got to accept the cold, hard truth, right? That's what the term has become now. Whenever you see like a red pill on the internet, it's always about, you know, taking the cold, hard truths of things and being stoic.
Well, have you ever?
So go ahead.
Oh, it's just real quick. Have you ever seen the like meme that says hard truths, and then there's one guy in line, and then it says comforting lies, and then it's just like wrapped around the block. That's what a lot of these YouTubers are. They're comforting lies.
Yeah, but it's just funny to me. Like they're so focused on the short term, you know. In the long run, their channels aren't going to survive. But I mean, maybe their plan is just to get as much money as they possibly can, and then just dip out and retire. Because like they're not going to be. I mean, we'll be around forever if we keep doing it because we actually preach good stuff. But these clowns, the newest hot stock, crypto.
And see, they have entirely different goals than I do. Their goals are to be financial YouTube scammers, and my goal is to have a channel so I can become a stand-up comedian that makes financial jokes on stage.
Yeah, I mean, like I want to make money, but you don't want to do that by just selling lies that are unsustainable. It's like, okay, if my YouTube grows, I'll get ad revenue. Maybe people will buy my book, and that's it. But I'm not going to sell you $1,000 or $20,000 course like a freaking scam artist. Because you're just going to look like an idiot in the long run.
The only dip I buy is ranch. I like that. So you're buying craft stock, huh?
Buy the dip, bro. Now for my Ponzi scheme, 100%.
All right. Hey.
Wow.
Hey, so Stockmo, you're probably more educated on this guy than I am.
Do you know anything about Stockmo, Eric?
Honestly, I think I've seen like his channel. I really don't watch any of like the hype-driven YouTubers. Like, I mean, I watch Graham Stephan occasionally because he puts out more videos other than just like straight up investing, right? Like real estate videos, which are interesting. But other, like any type of like, you know, stock hype beast.
Yeah, dude. There's Graham Stephan's great, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, the only problem I would have with him is you're partnered up with Jeremy on your thing, and like you know his course is a scam because all of your money is in an S&P 500. It's a little bit shady, but he gives excellent advice, and even his crypto play I didn't have a problem with when he said, I'm putting 2% of my money in crypto.
Yeah, I don't know why he does like that podcast. Like, I mean, he does it to like, you know, help his own channel, but I don't know why he's associating himself with like, because I've seen like a bit of those podcasts, and I just get the sense he's kind of like, when he hears some of the things that like these other YouTubers say, he's like, you know, what the hell are these guys talking about? Like, he just stays out of the conversation while these guys kind of go on and on about GameStop or whatever.
Did you go back and watch the Andre Geek video with the Dogecoin Millionaire, where the guy says, this is when I knew Graham knew what he was talking about. The guy says he's going to hold it for the year, and Graham Stephan can't even the micro flash on his face where he just goes. I was like, dude, I want to tell that dude, like, you're one of us, dude. You're not these guys over here. Why are you? There's more money in being genuinely yourself.
Yeah, I agree. And like he's like way bigger than all those other guys. Like, isn't he like bigger than all those other guys combined? Like, I don't know about like how many subscribers the other guys have.
Yeah, so Graham has like 3.1 million. Kevin has like 1.6. He doesn't go on the podcast. Jeremy has like 600,000. So yeah, he's pretty much as big as all of them combined, which is a good thing. But the sad thing is people that watch him probably also watch Jeremy and the other clowns.
Well, a percentage of them. If he has like 3 million and all the other guys have like not even half that, then what that tells me, there's 1.5 million people that know who those guys are, but are voluntarily not subscribing to them because they don't think it's a good idea to.
Yeah, and Kevin always rubbed me the wrong way anyway. I've always been subscribed to Graham, but the only reason I subscribed to Kevin was to see what he was talking about so I can just dump on him as much as possible.
Yeah, dude, I was like shocked when I saw that he responded to your video. Like, how did he find it? Did you like email him the link or did he just come across it?
He just watched it. Like I had no clue he was watching it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, he commented on my video. I was so awesome. So he saw me. Like I think he watched the whole thing because like he knew everything that I said. I hope I pissed him off, man. That was
he was butthurt. When I read that comment, I'm like, this dude is butthurt. Like the way he's coming at, like, and then he tells me that he doesn't know what he's talking about in that comment when he goes, and people just trying to, make a name for themselves when the stock dips. And I'm like,
are you watching this right now? If so, post a comment. I'd love to have a chat with you.
I think he's live streaming. He's fundraising right now, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I wish he would have responded to my comment where I said, Kevin, dude, you're dangerous.
He's a complete clown. I mean, like I said, I subscribe just to see what he's saying because like I got to keep up with the latest BS that people are hyping, but the stuff they say, it's all the same. It's all the same stuff. They all pump the same stocks and the same cryptocurrencies. It is such a grift, and it's so boring. Like, why would I want to see somebody pump the same stupid stocks? Like, what does that do for you?
Well, that's why I like Sven Carlin.
Yeah, he's cool. I actually want to make a video where I talk about like the 5 best YouTubers and then the 5 worst financial YouTubers. That's probably the next thing I'm going to make. Sven will probably be on the best. Besides me, I'm number 1.
Wait, okay. We got distracted again, probably because I've drank so much coffee. I'm like a squirrel on Adderall. Stockmo.
All right. So Stockmo is just this older guy, and he's like, I think he's like a teacher or something, but he's basically this old, boring loser that preaches the same exact stuff that all the other YouTubers have. And I think he was focusing on, I don't know if it was Neo. He basically was talking about the stock and he was like, oh, this is a long-term investment. It's so great. And then he bought it and then it like crashed. And then he made a video like 2 months later. Oh, I'm actually selling it now. I'm not so sure. So it just like completely proves he's a freaking fraud and a loser. And he's got like 500,000 subscribers.
I'd love to be across from him when he's like, I'm selling. I'd be like, well, what turned you off to that? The speculative play or the dilution of the stocks?
Why would you preach like long-term investing and then the next freaking minute you're selling it?
Well, dude, I had Nio and I like doubled my money on it. I'm like, I'll hold this as a speculative play. And then I said, hang on a second. They're diluting the stock shares. I'm out of this thing. I'm taking my money and running.
Yeah, I had my wife in like ARK. I put like 5% of her Roth in ARK and it went up like 50%. I was like, all right, this is stupid. And then I sold it.
Yeah, I mean, but so he's basically just a speculative guy.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at his videos now. It's all like meme stocks and cryptocurrency.
He has no charisma. It's like, how do you have so many I mean, at least I could see with like Meet Kevin or, at least he can be entertaining. But Stockmo, the guy's a moron. I'm going after him too. I have so many people on my bucket list.
And I have to go back and watch more of her videos, but like I said, if you're looking for someone that's easy on the eyes who gives pretty good advice, investing with Rose. Sorry,
I think it's
sorry. The hot Asian chick is easier on the eyes than you are.
I mean, I would say that's debatable, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, she's not bad. I mean, I watched her a couple times. Nothing crazy.
She pulled her punch where I have respect for her, and I understand why she did it. She pulled her punches on Tesla when she said, "I think the share price will be like $400," and she did that only because she didn't feel like arguing with idiots on the internet.
Yeah. Hey, I'll come out and say I think it needs to be under 100. But I like her. I hate. I live off the hate. I'm like a hate vampire. You know, the more hate I get, the more fun I have.
Well, if somebody remember when we were one of the first live streams we did where I said I think Tesla's probably about a $50 stock, if that. And this guy goes, "You mean the same price as NIO?" And I go,
"The price doesn't matter."
Yeah, it's Berkshire Hathaway Class A shares are like $400,000. They're less expensive than Tesla stock.
Yeah, you got to understand, you're buying earnings, ladies and gentlemen. It's how much you're paying for the earnings. It doesn't matter what the stock price is. It's like, oh, you might as well buy penny stocks. You know, they're so cheap. They're a great deal.
Well, that's what Peter Lynch does. Dude, you watch that interview, that 1994 conference. Dude, it's stand-up comedy for finance nerds. Because he's referencing jokes back, and he's like, "Well, it's $20. How much can I lose?" "Well, you can lose all of it."
All right, we got a couple more comments. It's because they don't understand. They have no clue what they're doing. They just see stonks go up and I could get rich quick, and
yeah, there's not enough experience there.
I'll tell you the reason why, and it's perfectly summed up in a comment on my channel. A guy said, well, Jay, he didn't say Jay, but he said, the reason people listen to these guys is not everybody wants to get rich by the time they're 70. And that comment sums up the entire attitude in the stock market. And that's what good investing is. Warren Buffett points out $10,000 in the S&P 500 in 1942 would be $55 million today.
And you can get rich quick. I mean, like relatively quickly by just maxing out your tax advantage accounts. Like I've done very well and I haven't played any stocks. It's just because I freaking live cheap and I put as much money as I can in my tax advantage accounts. You'd be shocked how fast it can grow as long as you're consistent about it. So you don't need to buy stonks to get rich quick. You just need to be dedicated and invest as much as you possibly can.
Well, to the conversation Jeff Bezos had with Warren Buffett, where Jeff asked him the question, he goes, if what you do works all the time, how come everybody isn't doing it? And he said, this because nobody wants to get rich slowly.
People don't have patience.
And they don't understand. They listen to these gurus on YouTube. I have a time and tested true way of beating the stock market every time. Okay, no, you don't. And here's why I know that. Because if I had a tried and true method of destroying the stock market and getting 1,000% return every year, I would tell no one about it. Because then everybody would do it and it wouldn't work anymore.
It's really that simple.
Yeah, I actually have a secret. I'm not telling anybody, though.
What? That you stabbed a man in Reno?
No, it's you build a YouTube channel, okay? And then you pretend like you had gains in the stock market. There are 3 live streams pushing random crypto. I wish I could
I get this all the time. Like there's always, whenever I watch like certain videos. There's live streams of like technical analysis of like Dogecoin and whatever the hell.
There's a guy that I think he's constantly streaming Doge. It's like I keep seeing it pop up. It's like, dude, do you
sleep, bro?
Do you have a job? Are you a productive member of society?
What are we saying right now? It's consolidating. I see a reverse pancake handle trend. We see where Doge is right now.
Yeah, did you guys see my last video of how finance podcasts sound when you don't understand the stock market?
Yeah, that was funny, dude.
Yeah, I felt dumb. I was like, I don't know what he's saying.
The thing was, like, what I was saying, I don't know. I think some of it was like legit, like language. Basically, what I did was I just went to Reddit and went to like r/technical analysis and r/options, and they just found like the most complex and like, dry post I could, and then just took like a discussion from that, and then just had two guys, like, or myself twice, dressed as like the typical finance bros, just like going on and on about, their plays for the week and, how they feel about everything.
No, dude, that was a funny video. That's why I suggested TikTok, man.
Yeah.
Because,
you have super high quality videos. I just think you need to do like some meme crap, and then I think you'll get pumped up pretty quick. I mean, my videos are trash quality. I just sit here and rant, but you actually do like editing and stock footage.
Dude, yeah. You should do like meme stock investor versus Boglehead.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like, I want to make more videos like the Safe Moon one I did. I also want to make videos of like kind of imitating like other popular, like not only finance YouTubers, but like popular like people in the finance world as well. Not like crapping on them, but just kind of imitating them. Like do you guys know who Kevin O'Leary is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like he's Canadian, and I've a video planned. So one of my like good friends is actually like in film, and like I've done like real movies with him. Like I actually have had like acting roles in real movies before. You can look me up on IMDb, and I'm on there.
Dude, that's awesome.
Really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Oh yeah, and I mean they're like super small, like just kind of like movies that he submits to like film festivals. But I want him to help me like actually make like really high production videos, like once I actually get better, and I want to learn proper editing. And because like the kind of investing discussions, they're fun, but I feel like I should get a bit more knowledge before I start, like, and I should build up more of like a portfolio myself, because like I'm only 23, like I'm doing decent for my age, like I have a full-time job, which I think is pretty good considering I graduated during a recession. But I mean,
wow, you give good investing advice. Why do you need to build up a larger portfolio?
This is smarter than 95% of YouTube.
I haven't released it yet, but it's the larger portfolio fallacy on who's the better investor, and it depends. It depends who. Yeah. You could get lucky and have a $10 million portfolio, and you did 2 YOLO plays, or you could be like a guy like the frugal janitor, who doesn't have much money but just makes really smart decisions. You have a smaller portfolio, but ultimately you're the guy I want to listen to.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely true. I think that for me personally, I need to build up a bit more of a track record. Like, even if it's like, I don't need to have like $1 million net worth, but I need to have a bit more of a portfolio, right?
I guarantee you're crushing every other 23-year-old out there that isn't a YouTube financial person.
Yeah, and look at all the YouTube people. Like, there's a bunch of young clowns they have like 2,000 in Robinhood, and they're on there. So just because you don't have a lot of money invested doesn't mean you can't talk about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Investing is a journey, dude. It's like you're just bringing people along. You're like, hey, look at, I'm going to show you my small portfolio grow over time. This is where I'm putting my money. And really just the key is finding people that like your style. Because, I mean, you already give good advice. So, I mean, why do you need a larger portfolio? And it doesn't, like, to me, you could be a 40-year-old dude starting out right now. And you're like, I'm way behind. Here's what I'm doing. I'm doing a Boglehead approach for this reason. And I'm like, okay, well, let me listen to you.
Yeah.
It's stupid to listen to people based on the size of their portfolio.
Yeah.
Well, I have a $20 million portfolio and I inherited $19,999,000 from my uncle.
A small loan of $1 million.
I actually want to make a spoof video where I have like a $20 million portfolio, but I'll bring it up and it'll be like obviously Photoshopped. You say, "Hey, what's up, bro?"
You should even
just add up to like 300%, so it just doesn't make sense.
You should have like a $1.2 trillion portfolio.
I
own the entire world. I own like 3 African countries.
You know what I wanted to do with YouTube is, as soon as if I ever get to a point where I can monetize and make money, I'm going to release a video called how my YouTube channel with, X number of subscribers, which would be like a relatively small amount, became more profitable than Uber, Netflix, and then all these other like lost companies. And just have a picture of me like wearing a suit by a giant house, like with a subtitle that says "This guy's a genius" or something.
Yeah, I've made what, $24 off of YouTube, and that's not from ads. It's like, just like somebody got like a stock in my thing below. So it's like, yeah, I've made more money than the vast majority of these stupid freaking companies that everybody's are hyping up.
Dude, yeah, it's I definitely want to start doing skits because Nate's down here, and I had an idea where they're like seeking out this great sage for investment advice, and there's a couple of young guys, and like they come to my house and just find me passed out in a pile of beer cans, and they're like, "This is your oracle?" Like, yeah, just listen to it, just start breaking down Boglehead.
Yeah, I mean, like skits are fun. I've done a couple of them. They just require more editing and work, but I do have a lot of fun doing it. So I might start going back to that because I made a ton of videos where I'm just talking like this. I probably need a break from it.
Yeah, dude, I'm really just going to focus on being a heel and calling people stupid and morons.
Yeah, those videos will keep coming. Don't worry. But I want to start throwing in some skits and stuff.
I gotta run to the bathroom.
Yeah. Do you have to go, Eric?
What time? Yeah, I should probably.
Just wait 1 second so I can piss and I'll come back.
Okay. Well, I have to pee too, Jay.
Wow.
No, I'll wait.
Yeah, I can stay for a bit longer. I gotta get going eventually.
All right. Well, I'm gonna run to the bathroom and get some coffee. I don't know. Do you want to entertain the crowds while we're gone?
I think I'm gonna join you in the bathroom run. So.
All right.
We'll have to put an intermission.
Everybody, bathroom break. If you leave the live stream while I'm in the bathroom, you're a disloyal fan, and I hate you. So I'll be right back.
What's going on, guys? I wish I could see comments so I could communicate with people. Well, we hear toilet bowl flushing, so that means somebody will be back in a minute. Yeah, dude. Skits are fun, man. It's just for me, it's like a limited amount of time, and if I can like organize people to get together to do them.
Yeah, and plus the editing too. Like for me, if I just do like a 1.5-2 minute skit, like the filming of the actual like content takes not even like 10 minutes. But then the editing can, depending on how like precise you want it to be, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So like whenever I edit a video, I can get like really caught up in the details and like, try and like change it to like the 10th of a second so that it's perfect. But that just, it takes like a long time. Like sometimes you can be editing for like hours and then, yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, if I ever was big enough where I was making YouTube money so I could do skits, I would just outsource that. I would just do the raw footage and have a company do it because I don't.
Yeah.
There's only so many hours in a day to learn skills that you want to learn, and editing really isn't one of those ones that I really want to spend a lot of time on. That's why no matter what, the production value on my channel probably will just be better cameras. Because I'm not going to sit around doing the YouTube cuts. I just don't want. And to me, there's something fake about the way the YouTube cuts jump around that I don't want to watch anyways. I'd rather somebody is just honest and just goes on and talks than I see the cut where the person like goes from like this to this.
Yeah. I mean, editing's really hard to learn. Like I just use simple iMovie, which it's good enough. It's pretty user friendly. But if you want to get into like actual editing where you have like effects and stuff and like, really get creative with it, you need like Adobe or something.
I hate editing.
So this that's just not something that interests me.
Yeah.
It's like it ultimately comes down to back to like index fund investing. It's like I don't want to sit around doing discounted cash values, calculating intrinsic value. I just don't want to do it.
Hold on a minute, everybody. Lewis Jones, are you subscribed to our channels? Because I will give you real investment advice. So if you haven't subscribed already, do so, and then subscribe to Jay Noggin Investing Sucks.
Personally,
Dogecoin.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there's a pretty good rule. There's a pretty good argument to be made that if you double your money on like, or, you get 30-40% back on an investment, you should just take your profit.
Be greedy.
Yeah. And the thing is like crypto isn't going to go anywhere for a little while. How it's going to crash is when it goes to the height of ridiculousness. Like the Beanie Baby market of the late 90s, where you had like a divorced couple fighting over their Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
It's just like if I was getting a divorce back then, I would just said, oh, you want the Beanie Babies? I'll just take the 401k. Okay, fine. I'm taking the Beanie Babies. You're stupid. Like, okay.
Oh, yeah, honey.
Yeah, I'm a moron.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at those things, it always seems so obvious, right? Because now if you look back at like people spending thousands of dollars on like literal plush toys, you're like, what in the hell were people thinking? Like, why would you do that? But at the time, like when people are making money in something, it's really hard for you to see the truth in it, right? Like me personally, I bought crypto like early 2020. And the reason I bought it was because I think there was going to be like an influx into like Bitcoin and Ethereum because of like the excess money printing, and people would view that as a safe haven asset. Now, I didn't research it that much, so like my view on it has changed quite substantially. And obviously because of the volatility, there's no way you can really look at it as a safe haven asset. But then it had a run up, and at the end of that, I was just like, all right, like this is not like what I thought was going to happen. I've made some money, I'm getting out right now. Like it's not worth it.
Well, I mean, back in 2010, I was reading about Bitcoin, and I almost put $1,000 into it because I had the money at the time. And because my thought process was this, like, I can make money off this because nerds are going to push this, right? Then I go, I'm not going to gamble with $1,000. Well, turns out I cost myself like $100 million by not doing that.
Would you have had $100 million?
$1,000 would be somewhere around that right now. I know when it was at 16,000, I calculated that I would have had $20-something million.
Oh my God. See, that's what you're gonna miss, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't speculate, you're gonna miss those crazy run-ups. But at the end of the day, you don't know what's gonna run up like that. So
I mean, do I regret it? Hindsight, yeah. But at the time, I made a logical decision not to buy an untested speculative asset. It's not an asset, but a speculative product.
you're not gonna get rich quick, super quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you follow our advice. But in the long run, when you're in your 40s, maybe 50s, yeah, you're gonna be doing pretty good.
What did you say? The average person becomes a millionaire in their 40s or 50s?
Yeah, it was like Dave Ramsey research. It's like late 40s and 50s. Because it's kind of funny because I always get these comments. It's like, "Are you a millionaire, Mr. Bell?" I'm like, "No, I'm 31. I haven't had enough time to invest and compound my wealth enough to be a millionaire." But that doesn't mean I'm not going to be one. I just didn't YOLO into some stupid stocks and get rich in a second. Sorry.
Well, dude, this is the comment I always make. Well, you're comparing yourself to Meet Kevin. What's your portfolio like? Less than his, more than yours. And again, I go back to the portfolio fallacy. Like, Meet Kevin wouldn't have the money he has if he didn't have a YouTube channel and push crappy investment advice.
I mean, he'd be pretty well off with the real estate that he has, but he exploded with YouTube.
He's good at real estate. No, there's no denying that. It's just when you have 100 companies in your portfolio and 90% of them are speculative plays.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm putting in tobacco, everybody. Everybody went quiet. It's like, oh, all right.
Yeah. No, well, it's like Dogecoin Millionaire.
He's probably not a millionaire, right? Yeah, it's going. I mean, even a paper millionaire, he's at the point where it's almost not even paper millionaire because it's like at 28, 29 cents. So stupid.
He was at $2 million when it was at like 74. So he's lost about a third. So yeah, he might have dropped under $1 million.
Well, he said his cost basis, I think he spent like he got it in at like 4 cents. So he said if it goes below 25 cents, I will no longer be a paper millionaire. Well, he didn't even say paper millionaire. He doesn't know the difference. But that's what he said. So I assume if it goes below 25, then he's going to be in the 6 digits.
He's making YouTube money, though. He's got a pretty big channel.
That's the most surprising thing is I got a bunch of dislikes on it. And this is how I know these are just people that are mad that I'm shitting on crypto. Is because I was actually really nice about it in that video. I said, I hope this guy sells all his stuff. And, and I go, this might work out for him with a social media presence, but his money in crypto is going to evaporate.
You can't be nice, man. That's why I'm just like brutal. Like, I'm probably going to get worse too, especially when I'm monetized. Like, it is literally my goal to shatter all of these charlatans. And whatever I have to say or do, I'll freaking do it. I don't care.
Yeah, well, I was experimenting. And even if you watch my video on Meet Kevin, I actually wasn't really that harsh. And I held back a lot of what I really wanted to say about him. And people are like, the best comment ever. Will you make a video in 5 years about me crapping on Tesla? I go, absolutely.
See, one day when
the content plan
becomes huge, he'll pump my subscribers.
Yeah, well, that's why that one day where you were like, "Oh, you did a video on that," and I go, "So?" And you go, "Well, I didn't want to." I go, "Dude, if you get if you get a video tomorrow night and it gets 1 million views, and like either one of you, and you get like 100,000 subs from it. Well, if we're doing these live streams, then people will subscribe to me. So it's like, I don't care. You could go and do the exact same product right after I do it. Doesn't matter.
I'm literally just going to copy the video. So whenever you guys have something come out in the next hour, I'm going to put out the exact same thing. I'm not even going to change the script.
Dude, it wouldn't bother me in the least, dude.
Oh, here we go. We got a good. I mean, we have a bunch of comments we'll get to, but here's a person we want to change their mind. I'm holding AMC since $6 a share. Eli, tell us why you invested in AMC. Is it a long-term cash cow that's going to grow and compound and build your wealth? Or are you speculating? Because there's a big difference. And then what is my take on AMC? Well, we can all weigh in here. But personally, I looked at AMC's fundamentals, and the companies might not survive. It's literally living off of investor inflows and debt. The company in the long run is not a growing, massively profitable company. It's massively indebted, and its revenues have been flat, and I don't see a long-term future. But if you want to play it for a speculative play, okay.
Wait,
but don't
I have a question. So you looked at AMC, like how was it doing before, the whole pandemic shutdown? Like, was it bad before then?
It was barely profitable, and its revenues were flat. So it's not this growing company. I mean, I don't see it becoming a big player and compounding like other companies might.
Let me ask Eli a question. I'm on Yahoo Finance, so take that with a grain of salt. I don't exactly trust all their numbers. Tell me which one of these two companies you want to own. One has a negative 15.59 earnings per share. One of them has a $2.33 earnings per share. AMC has negative $15 earnings per share. So or you could own Bank of America and it will earn you $2.33 per share.
Yeah, well, he said he was in AMC at $6, right?
Take your profits and run.
Yeah, like if you just want to sell enough to cover your cost base, and then just if you want to speculate on it because you think it's going to keep going higher, then your cost base is zero and the rest is just profit. I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah, he probably tripled his or even quadrupled his money. It's like, dude, sell it and then put it into something better. I mean, that's a good gain. Let me see what the price is.
It's $26.
Yeah, dude, sell it now.
Do me a favor. If you want to stay in it and speculate, do me this favor. Sell half. Put it into a low-cost index fund, VT, VTI, whatever, and then speculate with the rest of it.
Yeah, have you maxed your Roth IRA? If you haven't, I would sell at least $6,000, put it into your Roth IRA, and that money's going to grow tax-free for the rest of your life, as long as you've had income for the year. Do that. At least you can lock in some of those gains and then keep them growing sustainably.
Yeah, the key is, Ray Dalio's portfolio, the all-weather portfolio, what he does is he keeps gold at 5% of his portfolio. So if gold goes up, he trims it back down to 5% of his portfolio. If it goes down, he buys. You should follow that advice with almost every individual stock that you have. And the key is this: safety with your money and maximizing your gains. The best way to maximize your gains is not to lose anything.
Yeah, that's why I like to target retirement funds, because they have like a global exposure, but I think they're set percentages. So if international does well, they have to trim it and then buy US, and then vice versa. So I'm a huge fan of that. You're constantly selling at a high and buying at a low.
And honestly, ask yourself, what's the probability of a company with a negative earnings of $15.59 per share being around in 10 years?
It's going to the moon, bro.
And it might in the short term. And it also is probably going into the gutter immediately after it goes to the moon.
Dude, some guy commented on it. So I made that AMC video a couple days ago, and then he came back. He's like, "You look so stupid now. AMC went up like 100%. I'm like, dude, did you even watch the video? Like, I don't care where it goes in the short term. I was looking at the fundamentals of the company, and the company is massively in debt. It's not profitable, and I'm not even sure it's going to survive. That's what I was saying. But he's like, "Oh, you're so dumb. You don't know anything. You're delegitimized." It's like, no, I'm not. You have no idea what I'm talking about because you're a clown.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the stock's going to do 10 minutes from now. It's Warren Buffett quote. I don't know what the stock market's going to do 10 minutes from now. 10 months from now, but I know in 30 years it'll be higher.
Yeah, the world is going to grow. I mean, what is it, like 3-4% of the world's growing on average? I mean, you're going to double the world's GDP is going to double in like, a couple decades. So worst comes to worst, you double your money.
Yeah. That's my advice. Take it with a grain of salt. Tomorrow, AMC could go to $100 per share.
Yeah, I don't care. It's like, okay, great.
Yeah,
if you have it, sell it.
I'm individual stocks I'm buying right now, zero. Because everything's just so expensive. I don't buy individual stocks unless I know it's a really good deal. Like I said, Bank of New York or Bank of America last year. And Bank of New York Mellon, where I was buying when it was below $35. So when it would go below $35, I'd go in there and buy a share or two. Now that it's at $51, I'm not buying any of it.
Price to earnings, ladies and gentlemen. When you buy a company, you want to have it on sale. It doesn't matter what the stock price is. It's what you're paying for the future earnings of the company. That's all that matters, okay? And if you haven't already, if you just checked in, please subscribe to me, to my buddy Jay Nagy, and to this Canadian gentleman, Investing Sucks.
Yeah, it's like Amazon is an excellent company, and I'm almost positive it'll be worth more in the future, but I'm still not buying it right now. One, because I already own it in index funds, but I'm just using this as an example. But two, Amazon is overheated because of the pandemic, and it's gonna go down in the short term once the economy fully reopens. Because people aren't going to be just sitting at home ordering crap on Amazon.
Yeah, if it went down, I would consider buying a stake in it. I mean, it's a great company and it's massively expanding, but you got to worry about what you're paying for the future earnings. If it's too expensive, you're not going to make a lot of money. But if you wait till you have an opportunity, that's when you can actually make money.
Yeah, that's what really turned me off from Amazon. Like, because when you think about like what are some of the strongest companies in the world right now, you think of Amazon, right? Because they've just been like gobbling up competitors in the past. And really, if you look at, it was like an interesting experiment I did once. If you look at like businesses that aren't around now, but were big businesses like 10 years ago, and you think what happened to these businesses, like most of the time it has something to do with Amazon. It's like they got bought by Amazon. They got bought by a company that then got bought by Amazon. Amazon disrupted their industry. So it's an amazing company to have, but there's the price value trade-off, right? Like they are a little bit overheated right now, like you said, and they are kind of expensive. So it is a good company to own, but just keep in mind what you're paying for those earnings.
That's why you need cash reserve. You don't need to have a lot of cash, but if you have some cash sitting on the sidelines, just wait, be patient. And then when an opportunity arises, watch the companies that you're interested in. And when they, have a temporary tumble, that's when you buy in.
Well, go back to what we started off with is $1 of their company's earnings. How much do you want to pay for it? Me, I want it for free, but I'm not going to get it for free. So the less it costs, the more I want to buy. And then if it costs me $1.10 to buy $1 in earnings, I want to wait because eventually it'll drop to 90 cents.
And just so we don't confuse you guys, if you just tuned in, you still want to be maxing your tax advantage accounts and buying broadly diversified index funds. But if you have side money that's just sitting there, okay, that's when you would wait for these opportunities. But in general, no matter what the economy's doing, max your tax advantage accounts and buy broadly diversified index funds. And then if you have money, then you can buy opportunities when they arise. But you don't want to just sit there with 100% cash and not buy anything, because even if you're buying stuff that's expensive, you're still going to get some kind of return. So you should still be doing that at least. And then if there's a special opportunity, then you can go in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you wouldn't want to be 100% in cash because it's the old saying, time in the market is the most important thing. Like almost every study has concluded in any way trying to time the market doesn't work out for you because the market is made up of people and people are irrational.
I've never. I mean, I'm timing a little bit with some cash, but I'm still maxing all my stuff.
That's
So
called
even
buying.
if I'm wrong, I'm still maxing my tax advantage accounts.
Yeah, but that's just more along the lines of buying the dip.
Buy the
And that,
crypto dip.
no, because crypto is not real money.
It's not even a dip though. That's the thing. Like it's not even lower than what it was like at the beginning of the year. For
Like it doesn't. If it dips at all, it's the dip, bro. It doesn't matter.
Dude, you didn't know? You didn't know stonks in crypto only go up.
Yeah, that's what I said in one of my videos. Safe Moon only goes up.
Yeah. Elon Musk, Kathy Woods, whatever, to the moon. Fundamentals don't matter. It's funny how in every bubble, fundamentals magically don't matter anymore.
Yeah, did you guys hear that they're thinking of making a cryptocurrency that only goes up in value? So you can't buy it for a price that's lower. Like it only ever goes up, so you can't ever buy it for a lower price.
Well, then that excludes it from being a currency because I talked about this. You buy a house, okay? So this cryptocurrency that always goes up. Do you want to pay your loan off with a currency that is ever depreciating in value? Thus, you borrowed $250,000, but you're going to pay the bank back with less valuable dollars, or do you want to pay for it with an asset that keeps going up? So there's your currency argument is out the window right there.
I mean, it's a joke currency. It's like if you got paid in Dogecoin, how pissed would you be if it dropped by 50% in 2 days? You just lost half of the money that you made. That's why legitimate currencies like the dollar, they don't lose value that fast. So you at least know a dollar is going to be roughly $1 for the next year or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're sitting there, if you're running a business and you got to turn over inventory, you're sitting there going, well, I can't use my Doge right now because it just dropped by 50%.
But hey, you don't have to listen to us. You can just subscribe to the Dogecoin Millionaire. He's a very knowledgeable individual, you know. Buy the dip, paper hands. What's up, bro?
Yeah, cryptocurrency is a currency in the same way giving hand jobs is a currency. Like, hey, you come over and you fix the pipes in my house, and I'll give you 4 hand jobs.
Is that what you do, Jay? Is that how you save
money?
I'm
a barter economy. I pay for my stuff in hand jobs.
Man, I need to start doing some work for you then.
Yeah, I go to Walmart and they're like, that'll be $120 for your food, and I'm like, yeah, but how much is that in hand jobs? Because that's my thing.
All right, I'm about to sign off. Let's get through some comments and then we can have closing.
Yeah.
All right, where are we at? This is in relation to Mr. Eric here.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's why I said, who cares about your age and the size of your portfolio? You're better off than 99.99% of all 23-year-olds. How many of your friends do you know that are even investing anything?
Yeah, well, for me personally, because I went to business school.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my friends are like that, so we're all investing. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people like some of the people who watch my videos who are people who personally I know, where I'm just like, you know, if you don't know anything about investing, like I made a couple videos that were designed like for like some people specifically, or I'm like, you know, this will teach you like just basic stuff, right? In like a very understandable way. Yeah, I mean, I think that's why like so many people are able to charge like such insanely high fees for giving out investment advice, is because it's just, they're basically playing the knowledge barrier there, where there's people who don't know what to do. So it's like, okay, pay me fees and I'll take care of it.
There was a woman at work where she was asking me about investing, and I said, okay, first off, are you maxing your tax advantage account? She goes, what do you mean? I go, your TSP. And she goes, yeah. I go, okay, you can buy individual stocks. Are you maxing your Roth IRA outside of it? No. Okay, that's where you put your money. And then so I started giving her, I go, the statistics are clear on it. The average investor cannot outperform an index fund. Told her some to look at. And she goes, you could charge a lot of money for this advice. And I go, why? It's commonly available on the Boglehead forums. I would feel like a scumbag for taking your money for this advice that you could find in literally a 4-minute Google search. What is the most effective way to invest?
Jay, there's even better. There's this book on Amazon, okay? Written by this handsome, young, aspiring YouTuber called Christopher Bell.
Is it this one?
It's called Stop Being a Broke Loser, okay? That's $3 on Amazon. Yes, I'm going to profit off of you. I'm going to make $1 every time you buy a book. That's all you got to do. Everything you need is in that freaking book, okay? It's on Amazon. Stop Being a Broke Loser. Or you can just go to the library and get a free book, whatever you want. But you don't need to pay these clowns all this freaking money for nothing.
Next question.
All right. I think the sell-off is coming. There will be a price to pay. It's possible, but you never know with the markets. I mean, you could.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, you also don't know with the amount of money slushing around in economies around the world from all the quantitative easing. It's just it's just a tough time to tell. I do know we are in times of irrational exuberance.
Yeah, I'm definitely holding more cash than I normally would, but I'm still maxing. Like as soon as next year comes around, I'm maxing my Roth. I don't care where the economy's at. It doesn't matter. But in the meantime, yeah, I have a little bit of extra cash, but you never know. Stocks always return their intrinsic values. That's true. You just got to
reversion to the mean.
May take a lot of time, but it happens. This is during our potty break. Don't cross streams. I wish I lived with Jay. We cross streams every night.
Sword fight. Oh, yeah. No, dude, I completely agree with you. I just look around and I'm like, I look around for fun mostly. But I can't find anything. That doesn't mean that gems don't exist. It just means you got to search harder.
Actually, I bought a small educational company. It's called Lincoln Educational Services. Yeah. I threw some money in it. I mean, it was pretty. I like the mission of the company, but who knows where that's going to go? But I liked it.
It's a spec play, man. You don't use a lot of money, so who cares?
YOLO. Tech, horrible deal. Don't buy tech right now.
Dude, right now, it's going to take years for the earnings to catch up to the value of the stocks. That's why I don't even look at tech anymore. And that's why I brought up Amazon earlier. It's a great company, but it's a little bit too expensive for me right now.
Yeah, don't buy QQQ. That's an ETF that's highly concentrated in tech.
Oh, yeah. That's the NASDAQ ETF, right?
Yeah, but it's like hyper concentrated in just a couple companies. It's like the top 100.
Yeah, you probably are better off just burning your money instead of putting it in crypto because at least you had a good time doing it.
You can heat your house, at least it has some value. Yep, 100% true. Don't buy crypto, ladies and gentlemen, unless it's with a very small amount of money, and then take your gains. Getting upset. I know, you always feel the pain, but just the way it is. If you're a long-term investor, you're going to miss opportunities, but that's okay because you'll still win at the end of the day.
That's why I just laugh about it because, it would drive me insane. It's like some days I do sit there and I think, man, if I had just done it, I could be driving like a sick-ass 1967 GTO. But what are you going to do? No regrets.
CD Projekt Red. What did that stock tank or something?
Yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 turned out to be a massively buggy game.
Yeah,
a lot of people were riding on the hype of The Witcher 3, which is one of the greatest video games ever made. And CD Projekt Red got into a situation where they had to send the game out before it was actually done, and it turned into a buggy, awkward mess.
Yeah, that's why every individual stock really is a speculative play, and especially in the short term. So you got to be careful. Ford. I should have bought Ford, man. Pissed.
Yeah, dude, that's what I got. I got my BAC at 23, 24. I put 500 in, and I'm diamond handsing that. I just looked at it and I'm like, this is a solid company. I'm just going to leave my money in there.
Yeah, I like his ETFs. I mean, it's more than I would get, and then he's got some stocks, but yeah, VT, VQ.
What's VOD?
I don't know what that is. VOD stunk. I don't time them, but I do sell in all my companies. I mean, that could be risky because sometimes you just don't know. I mean, they may look overvalued, but the market can be stupid and just keep going up. So,
I mean, if you're taking profits from the companies and putting them into an index fund, that's not a bad play.
Yeah. I maxed my Roth. God bless you. You're smarter than 99% of Americans. Can you do a video on how much money? Yeah, I can do that. Any of us can do that.
Yeah, and I mean, but then again, the problem with that is this. How much money you should have, it's dependent. What if you get into a situation where you have a bunch of health issues in your late 20s, early 30s, and you're taking care of a family member, whatever. You just don't have the money at the time. It's all just circumstantial, really.
Yeah, it's how much you want to retire off. I mean, I need a certain amount. You know, Jay needs a certain amount. Eric needs a certain. It just depends on the person. But
if you, like I said, I mean, you could be a person who's fortunate with no health conditions. You make the right decisions, and you're in a lucky situation. And you could have by 40 years old $1.5 million, and you could be a guy who made all the right decisions, but then circumstances didn't work out for you. And you're 40 years old and you have 60,000 K. But the thing is you did all the right things. It was just unfortunate circumstances. So you have the right amount of money is what I'm saying, even though it's less than the other guy, because you made the right moves. So I don't know. I mean, I could do it where you want to be on the targeted goals. I just think that.
Yeah, I mean, you can do like, hey, if you want this amount, you need this amount. I mean, there's ways you can make a video about that. I need a beer after reading my. It's too early to drink, buddy. Come on. 150 where I'm at?
Bro, it's 5:00 somewhere.
How many stocks? I own 8,000 stocks because I own the VT ETF.
I own 4 individual stocks. The rest of my money is in index funds.
Yeah, I'm 1 individual stock. The rest is like an all cap Canadian index ETF. And then I got, I think like 30% in 1 REIT, which is a bit too concentrated because it's a retail REIT. But
I have 1 stock, and this was solely for fun. I bought it when it had a dividend yield of 20%. And I put $400 in it because I was just like, I want to see what this does. And it was really just an experiment. So other than that, it's Bank of America, Bank of New York Mellon, and Alibaba.
Yeah, I've got Walmart. It's like I got $200 in Walmart. I've got Alibaba. I've got about 4K in there. Lincoln Educational Services, I have like $300, and then Baidu, I have like 700. So like, it's not a crazy amount, but just to play around, you know, whatever. We'll see what happens. I'd like to stop. You just got to be really careful. I mean, like I agree with like if you have individual stocks, yeah, I would sell them, but I would not touch your index funds. Like the whole point of the index is just to hold it forever, buy it no matter what, consistently, and you're going to buy in the ups and downs. That's dollar cost averaging, because markets can go up and up and up and up. But yeah, if you have individual stocks, sure, you'd sell out of them. I would.
Yeah, because if you would have asked me at any point in the last year and a half, if I thought the market was overheated, I would have told you yes, and we need a correction. And I would have lost out on a lot of the gains that we've got if I'd sold out.
Yeah, markets are dumb. I mean, yeah, you're smart, like you're reading the market correctly, but markets are dumb. They can keep going up and up.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You can't try to outthink the market. because you're using a rational brain to make decisions in an irrational market.
And plus, even if you're buying at all-time highs, like you're still going to get some future return. You're still buying future earnings. You're just getting less future earnings. And then, but if you're dollar cost averaging when the market tanks, well, you're also scooping them up when they're really cheap. So that's why it kind of averages out over time. So I wouldn't time your entire portfolio, but if you have individual stocks, yeah, sell them.
It's really this. Just let me get this analogy, and we'll just get through the questions. But it's really like the market is this. You're playing a game where you have to stick to rules with a person who's playing a game who can just make up the rules on the fly.
You're playing with me, Kevin.
Yeah.
This is the last.
Did you keep it or did you get rid of it? I mean, if I would have saw my free Ford stock at 450 go to 12, I'm taking profits on that.
I call it Robin stock.
I like Robin Whore personally. And Weeble should be wee bullshit.
All right. Any last comments? He kept it. All right. I'm tired. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'm Strong Man. Please subscribe.
I'm
Please
Jay Noggy.
Jay Noggy. And then investing sucks. Any last comments, gentlemen?
No, I think we covered it.
All right.
Yeah,
Don't
be smart, be wise, and stay disciplined.
and buy my book, Stop Being a Broke Loser. All right.
All
I'll
right.
talk to you guys later.
All right, man. See you.
All right, guys.
Bye.
See you, man.